Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine and welcome to Woollypod episode number 10. Go and get my virtual barista Barry to get you a cup of something because as I'm filming this it's quite blustery out and it's raining. So I've got a hot chocolate. It's salted caramel flavour, and as the sun is over the yard arm, it's got a good slug of Baileys in it. Just what you need to keep you warm. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'd love it if you took a minute to subscribe, hit the notification bell and give me a big thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help me out. If you're a regular to my channel, you might say, oh, she's got long hair. Haven't seen her with long hair for ages. This is Gladys, my wig. I've got her out of her box to join in today's special 10th episode of Woollypod. Yes, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Some knitting and yarn related stuff, hopefully. So, I did put this up as part of a much longer video, but in the summer I went to my very first ever reenactment, and it was the Battle of Edge Hill, which was the first battle of the Civil War, and I think it was either 340 or 360 years anniversary of that battle, and it was a beautiful sunny day. And before the battle itself, there were living history stalls that you could go to, and here's a couple of some yarn based things that I saw. Hello. Hello.
On the farm, you'd move the crop tool around, then you'd empty it out on about a year and a half. So absolutely. Yeah, I'm okay. Or needles. How Hi. Century, all fabric was made entirely by hand. So for wool, it would come off the sheep and it would be washed and then carded. Yeah. So this thing's all by hand, and then it would be spun. Just so them.
Yeah. No, I'm using drop spindles because you can't take a spinning wheel on the baggage cart unless you bribe the sergeant.
Ah, so it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
So everybody would have a drop spindle because you can earn your living by knitting small items like hose with you'd call socks, mittens and hats, garters to hold your hose up.
Yeah.
So all these little things you could make when you were with the army and you could sell. Because not all women were of loose morals of the army.
No,
They
back to morals again. We
No.
were talking morals just that.
We were saying.
And it was great to see actually all of the soldiers had got hand knitted socks on, quite chunky hand knitted socks. Yes, and at this point actually I'm going to put in a little bit of footage of my very first attempt to block a pair of socks. I've never blocked socks before. Here are a pair of hand knitted socks. They're for my daughter who's going away to uni. By the time you see this, she will be there. I have a pair of sock blockers from Loop. I will leave them linked down below. I have some Uclan Delicate Wash in lavender. It's little travel sized. And I have a bowl of hand hot water. I'm just going to get an angle set up and then I will show you what I think we need to do. Now I think the beauty of this is that you don't need to rinse it out, and this is lavender. Oh, it smells really nice. I'm just going to put a little capful in the water. Use the cap to swoosh it around. Then I'm going to place my socks in. And I'm not going to agitate them. I'm just going to press them in the water like so. Let them just sit a minute. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse out the water and just put some clean water in this to rinse these out. I know I've said you don't need to rinse, but I think I'm going to do that. So I've just rinsed them without pressing them in some cold water. I'm just going to gently squeeze out excess water. Then I'm going to place it in this old towel, which is clean, but also I'm confident no colours are going to run. And I can still smell that lavender. Just gently squeezing out that excess water. Then I'm going to roll this up. Actually, still quite a lot of water in there. This is probably how not to do it. Let me know whether I'm doing this right in your experience. And what I'm going to do now, I don't even know whether I'm still in shot. Let's just move that out of the way a little bit. I'm going to roll this up and gently squeeze. And I can still smell that lavender. It's really nice. Okay, let's have a little look. You can see I've got some liquid out there. You can see the liquid on the towel, hopefully. Oh, and they still smell really nice. Now, what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see, I'm going to just insert like so. Alexa woke up then. There we have one. And the beauty of this is it's got a little hanger so you can hang it up. So I need to hang it somewhere where she's not going to see it. And do the same with the other one. And we'll come back in a couple of days and see what we think of them. Whether it's made a difference. There we go, just sliding that on and just kind of, oh, that's really easy actually. And then just kind of fiddling with this. So that it sits on the sock blocker like so. Now I have got a little bit of a funny thing going on there. Let's just try and smooth that out a little bit. I wonder whether I needed to get the, I mean, she's only a size 5-ish foot. But there seems to be plenty of room on there. Let's just pat that out a little bit and let's see what we've got going on. You see that one is fine. Now this is just a vanilla sock and it's got a little bit of slip stitch on the back here, which I've not done before. They're a little bit long maybe, but we're going to hang those up and come back in a couple of days. So the socks are blocked. I'm quite pleased. They're nice and flat. It didn't take them too long to dry, but it's been a couple of days since I hung them up to dry. And let's just take them off the blockers now. Let's just see which is the best way to go. There we go. So it should just come off the blocker easily. And it's retained its shape. And I think if you, rather than scrunch up the cuff, if you roll them up individually, I think that's probably better. Now the only thing is, I mean, I think my daughter's going to wear these as slouchy socks. I don't know whether that is too non-stretchy now. I don't know. I'll have to ask her what she thinks, but I'm just going to fold that like that. That like that. That like that. There we have our little socks. And I can put my sock blockers away, and that's the end of that. Now what I do need to do, I've got a garment to block. I'm going to put that little segment in my next Woollypod, because I think one blocking video per Woollypod is enough, isn't it? So yes, I am not a virgin sock blocker anymore. So as I've already said, I am no longer a sock blocking virgin. I don't know whether I've done it right. You comment down below and let me know. But I did have a purchase a while back from Loop Knitting, Loop London, which I will leave linked down below. They used to have a very small shop in Islington, and now they've moved to a bigger premises. It's not massive, but it is 2 stories in, I think it's Camden Passage, Islington. And I did go there, oh, probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I do have some stuff in my stash from there. But obviously, not living in London, I don't visit very often, and I do, when I want to treat myself to something really nice, I do purchase online. So I have had a purchase. It was a while ago, and I bought some things that I really needed. So the first thing was, you saw there, my sock blockers, stainless steel sock blockers with little hangers. I think these are medium, I'm not sure. They're £20, and they'll last me a lifetime. And I think when funds allow, I will get the large, because I want to do some male socks. I'm not sure about small, but these are medium, I believe. The other thing I bought, this was a hank of Isaiga spinny tweed. It's £8.15 or thereabouts, and I used it. Anne Lane, fair warning, look away now. I used it to knit this little bear for one of my subscribers. She entered a challenge in the paper crafting side of my channel, and she came first, and part of the first prize was to either have a handmade detective bear or a gnome. And she chose a bear, and she wanted Jack Frost, who is a fictional detective. I don't know who the author is, but it was made into several TV series, and it was played by the actor David Jason. So I've got his little moustache there, and he's quite a bland character. When you look at any images of him, he doesn't wear way out clothes. And I said, do you want him to have a scarf or a cardigan? And she said a cardigan. So he kind of wears trench coats and beige jackets and things. So this is a little bit of Sherry Iris, one of the yarns that was in my yarn advent last year. I thought with the grey in it, it kind of picked up. And I've just done one little button there, so you can see his lovely fat belly knitted peeking through. But I'm very pleased with the way that that made up. I took a long time sewing it up, and I'm very pleased with him. So yes, he'll be going to his new home soon, and I've got plenty left to make another bear, which I might do, and I think I might start putting them on my Etsy shop. I don't know. Then the other yarn purchase that I had from there was a little bit extravagant. I think this is £34.50. This is Hue Loco single sock, is it called? Yeah, single sock. And it is actually, it's not terribly good yardage for the money. It is only 400 yards to 100 grams, not 400 meters. So what's that, about 370 something? I'm not sure. But I just loved all the colours in that. And I think I'm going to knit myself perhaps some kind of cowl with it. I've got a grey corduroy tunic dress, long sleeve tunic dress that I bought in the sale from Mistral last year. It was very good value, and that'll be coming out the wardrobe as we get closer into the depths of autumn and winter. But I think that would make a really nice cowl with all those colours. It'll go very nicely with the grey. It's like a steel grey. Yeah, yeah, so, and it is really soft. It is really, really soft. So I need to find something to do with that, and that colourway is called Beatnik. I then, along with the blocking theme, bought this super flexible knitting blocking wire because I have got some shawls, some lace shawls on the go, and I can't remember how much this was, but it comes in this really nice little handy tin, and you've got several of the blocking wires, and you've got some T-pins with it as well, and it's got all the full instructions of how to use it, and it's handy that it comes in this little tin, and it says it's a super flexible knitting blocking wire mix set. It contains 4 blocking wires that are 35 inches long, 3 blocking wires that are 70 inches long, and 30 stainless steel T-pins. I need to learn how to block, definitely, but it's nice that it's in a little handy tin. Then finally, with the blocking, I'm going to do a separate video on this in my next Woollypod. This was the big splurge item, the Cocoa Knits Knitters block set, and in it you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You get 18 of these big jigsaw pieces that go together, and they're 12 inches square roughly, and they are completely waterproof, which is good. It comes in the handy storage bag, so I just pop those back in there. Oh, in you go. And it also comes with this gingham cloth, so that you can, I think each square measures an inch, so you can use that as a guide. You put this over, I believe anyway, me talking as if I know what I'm talking about, you put this over the blocking blocks and then you pin your garment out. And I have got a garment, as I said in that other little segment, I have got a garment to block. And then I think as an extra, I bought extra blocking pins, T-pins. There are 40 stainless steel blocking pins in this little tin, and the bag here is lovely. It's got little pockets either end, and my sock blockers fit in it nicely as well, so that's like my little blocking station. So what have I got on the needles right now? I've got a couple of things to show you. So I think I showed this yarn in last month's Woollypod, I'm not sure. I got it from the shop in Bath, Wool, it's just called Wool. And I'm doing another pair of vanilla socks. These are for my eldest daughter for Christmas. They will need blocking, as you can see, but this colourway is called No, That's My Unicorn. And it is very bright and vibrant, but there's also some gorgeous little bits of pastel loveliness going on. I love the kind of pale blue there. And I think that'll be right up my eldest daughter's street. They're not brilliantly knit, but I think the blocking will help a little bit. And look, see, I've got a hole there I need to address. So that's one sock done. And I'm on the foot of the second sock, so that's not going to take too long. And like the ones that I did for my youngest daughter that I showed previously, it's got that kind of slip stitch heel going on. But one thing I do want to do is to learn how to do an afterthought heel, and Suzie from Elderflower Stitches has got a video, but I have also seen another YouTube tutorial on that, so that's something for when I've got a bit of time, I think, is to look at how to do an afterthought heel. So I'm going to leave that out because I might do a little bit later on with another hot chocolate with a little slug of Baileys in, and curl up on the sofa and watch something on the TV. So tell me, comment down below, what kind of thing do you like to watch on a wet, windy afternoon? What I would quite like actually is something like an Ealing comedy. Those of you that are American, Ealing comedies were a kind of genre of comedy that were filmed in black and white, I guess in the 1950s, maybe early 1960s, and they had people in like Peter Sellers and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, so that would be quite nice, something light-hearted. Another thing I found when I was having a peruse, I found a bag and it's got some of this in, and I don't even know whether Rowan do this anymore. I think it probably is discontinued. It is Angora Haze, and it is, can't quite read it, I think it says 69% Angora, 26% 20% polyamide and 11% wool. And I have actually started something with this, which I'm going to rip back. Let me see if I can get it out. I'm going to rip back because it's too big. Because although my diet isn't going very well, since I started knitting this, I have lost some weight. So this was size extra large, and I think I'm going to size it down to a large, but that's the right side. And yeah, so I'm going to pull this back. It's lovely, but the fluff gets everywhere, and I'll show you what it is that I'm knitting or going to knit. So again, this was a really old book, and I am going to knit, I've got just enough to knit this. It's called Thelma, little short sleeved boxy top, and I think what I might do is knit it slightly longer. So this little section here, I think in hindsight, now I'm going to go down a size. I'm going to do this double the length that it says, just to, yeah, because you know, I'm a woman of a certain age, I don't want to be showing my belly, do I? But I thought for school that would be quite smart. It's layering. Some of the classrooms get quite hot in the winter, but I thought with black trousers and a black jacket or a black cardigan and that colour, I'm not sure what the colour's called, let's have a look. It is a beautiful colour, doesn't say, doesn't have a name on it. Oh, it might in the book, let's have a look. It might say in the book. Oh, it's called Embrace. Yeah, it's called Embrace 526. Yeah, so maybe not quite my shade, but I think at the time it was the best of a bad lot. I think maybe with my natural hair colour it might be all right, and obviously you're only going to see a little peek of it, but I love that colour anyway. So that's something else that is on my needles. Still on my needles is Norman. I've only got a little bit left of her to do still. I've got the ice cream and the mittens to do. I've still got my Audrey cardigan on the needles. I'm so nearly finished with that. Now that we are getting into winter, I shall be picking that up because that's going to be a nice garment to wear. And then finally, I asked some of my relatives what they would prefer for Christmas, a hat or a scarf or gloves or socks. And one of my sisters said that she would like a hat with ear flaps. And I bought from Aldi, I showed it in another haul, this rainbow yarn. It was £4.99 I think, and there are, hold on, 350 meters, I think, 350 meters and 200 grams, and it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. I wouldn't normally buy acrylic, but I think for hats you need something that's durable, don't you, and washable. And $4.99 for a Christmas present, and it has got a easy knit 3-waist nude pattern inside, which I'll be keeping to do something else with. But I was doing a search on Ravelry, and there's several ear flap hats on there, but obviously I had to look at what had got the yardage. So I printed off an old pom-pom magazine, which was £8, I think, and I've got this hat, which I'm going to do. It's knit in stocking stitch and the flaps are in garter stitch, but I think I'm gonna do stocking stitch for the main body of the hat because I think the colours will shine through. But I think the flaps, garter stitch, might be too much, so I think I might do seed stitch, or moss stitch as we call it here in the UK. So that is that. I'll be back in a couple of months or so. I am waiting on a purchase from Elderflower Stitches. I couldn't resist her sock club, and when I've got some more to show, I'll be back. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. Take care everybody. Bye now.